Right guys, so here is my really quick and really good pasta dish. It takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ingredients. It's really easy to make and it's fairly healthy and it's cheap. There was a Jamie Oliver recipe that I found years and years ago and I kind of modified it, so this is the result. So what you need is a handful of kalamata olives. Don't cheap out, get the decent ones. It makes all the difference in the world. A handful of rucola, about 500 grams of cherry tomatoes, whoop, fresh pasta, 250 grams, and as with any Italian dish, garlic. So we'll start off by doing the first part here. What you want to do is slice all of these. The Italian recipes, the Italians always want you to take the skin off and never want the seeds inside stuff, so I always thought that was a waste. So what we'll do is we cut these diagonally so the juice can come out. So we just chop all those, not chop them, but we slice them all, just like that. The reason we cut them that way is so that if you squeeze them, the juice comes out. If you cut a tomato this way, you can't get the juice out as easily because it's got little sections in there that keep everything walled off. So if you slice it this way, then all the juice comes out really easily. We're going to end up squeezing the juice out of them in order to put them into the pot that we're cooking and get all the juices out and use all that nice tasty stuff. The reason I use these little tomatoes is that they're the only tomatoes that actually taste like tomatoes that I can find. I don't know, we don't have so many organic stores here in Sweden. But I just haven't found any tomatoes that taste anything remotely like actual tomatoes. And growing up, you know, in an Italian family in the States, and then in Southern California, we always had access to really good tomatoes and veg and everything. And I had tomatoes in my backyard the whole time when I was a kid. So these are the way to go if they're going to taste. If you want something that actually tastes like tomatoes, easiest way to get these out is just 2 fingers, push here. And off they go. Right. So you can do it 2 ways. You can use the whole olives, or you can chop them up. If you are trying to watch salt, it's a good way to chop them up. Greater surface area means that you will end up with more of a salty taste. You never need to really add salt to any dish that already has olives in it because they're brined, which means they sit in a salt bath, so it's going to be plenty salty. So if you want a little more salty, chop these up. If you want a little meaty kind of feel where there's a little more resistance to the bite, then go for it and just leave them whole. So the next thing we want to do here is just to smash our garlic. I just do it this way because chopping it is a pain in the ass and takes forever. You always peel the garlic first. So that was 2 cloves of garlic. It was actually 3, but they were wimpy pieces, and you can see it's kind of green in there because they're kind of old, which is kind of gross, but hey, hopefully no one who's a master chef is watching. So all you do now is you want to warm up the garlic and kind of slightly brown it in the pan. I normally do that at about, I don't know, 60 or 70% heat, and you do that with some olive oil. So smash some olive oil into the pan, like so. There you go. Onto this stove, I mean. Onto the stove. And up with there, and in she goes. Okay, so we got our garlic in there now. Now before the garlic, you don't want garlic to go brown, so because it gets bitter. So what you can use is the olives and the tomatoes to keep that from browning. So it's getting slightly a little bit brown there. So I just squeeze the olives in, or I'm sorry, the tomatoes in. get all the juice out. That's why we cut them that way. There we go. Olives in. And we're going to cover that and let it sit for at about 70% of the maximum power on your stovetop with the top on. So I'm poor and I got all these pans secondhand, but they're awesome pans. I don't have tops. So, alright, things are starting to get ready here. Pasta, the water's done boiling for the pasta. So in it goes for 2 minutes. This looks pretty darn good, almost done. We're just gonna, while the pasta's cooking, we're gonna spend a couple of seconds and chop up our rucola and get that ready for a garnish. So just normal chopping. Not super small, but just kind of adds a nice taste. And we can pop it back in. Dad would be mad. Backside of the knife. So that's going. Pasta's cooking. Pasta's done. Sauce is done with the sauce. Hopefully we don't steam up our lens here. I'm gonna mix that all around. Get those nice juices on everything. Alright, there is my poor student pasta dish that I've cooked for years and years, and just finish up with a garnish. And there you go. Pretty nice Italian dinner in virtually no time. So have a cook. Let me know what you guys think.